My 3-day-old newborn has yet to meet his father. This is because my husband began avoiding me as the due date is getting closer. Even when I let him know I was going into labor, he didn't rush to the hospital. 3 days after my first childbirth, my husband finally showed up. He introduced a woman I don't know, dropped a bombshell on me, and said, "This is my girlfriend. I want a divorce." My name is Jennifer. I met my husband John at a college club. John was a well-known, handsome senior at the college, and I was one of the women who admired him. Not to brag, but I was quite popular in high school and had been asked out countless times. Yet there was no one as wonderful as John in my circle. When I first joined the club, he was already a senior and dating a famous beauty. I was just watching from afar, but it seemed he picked up on my feelings for him. Remarkably, he broke up with his girlfriend and started dating me just before graduation. I was over the moon being able to date the man I admired. Now that I look back, I may have been a bit too excited. 6 months into our relationship, I found out I was pregnant with his child. It was a pregnancy during my college years. My parents were furious and confronted him at his home. "Our daughter is still a college student. What the hell are you thinking?" I'm truly sorry. I'll take full responsibility for this." As he shrank back, my father's wrath was unrelenting. "What do you mean by responsibility? We won't allow you to hurt our daughter." I want to marry Jennifer, please." There, he proposed to marry me on the spot. I wanted to raise his child, become a family, and be with him forever. Moved by his words, I managed to persuade my parents to give their consent to our marriage. Although he had a job, he was still a newbie, just a year into his career. Both of us were anxious about raising a child at this young age. "Hey, John, I'm sorry it's turned out this way. I'll take on a part-time job or whatever it takes to support you." "Okay, I'm counting on you." Thinking about our child, I dropped out of college. To save money, we decided to live at our parents' houses until the childbirth. Obviously, there was no wedding ceremony, just the legal paperwork. To be honest, it didn't really feel like we got married. A few days later, John came to me with exciting news. "Jennifer, get ready to celebrate. After the birth, my mom's going to buy us an apartment." His father had already passed away and has only his mother in his family. My hard-working mother-in-law promised us to buy an apartment with her savings. When I made a thank you call to my mother-in-law, she gave me comforting words. "It's better for a couple to live together right after childbirth, isn't it? You can take it easy at your parents' home until your body recovers and get used to childcare." Though it is still a long way off to live together, he was apparently making frequent trips to the apartment to prepare for our new life. Being busy with these preparations, his visits to see me at my parents' home dwindled. I was suffering from severe morning sickness and couldn't move around much, so I couldn't visit the apartment and all the preparations were left to him. "Hey, John, my belly's growing quite a bit, so I wish you'd come to see me more often." I told him over the phone, but the response was always the same. "I'm swamped too, so maybe later." It was my first time in childbirth, and I wanted him to be there, but I couldn't be too demanding of him because he was preparing for our new life together. Having a healthy baby is the most important thing right now. That's what I kept telling myself, and I tried to be patient. But even my due date approached. He still didn't come to see me. I sent him a message on Facebook just in case. "Right? We should start thinking about a name for the baby. Come see me when you have time." But no matter how many times I messaged him, I didn't get a reply. I didn't get to talk to him at all, and my due date arrived. That night, my contractions started, and we rushed to the hospital. My mom tried to call him, but he didn't answer. Maybe he was still at work. She left a message on his voicemail. "John, Jennifer is in labor. We're at the hospital now, so please come down here as soon as you hear this." I endured the pain of the contractions while waiting for him, but he didn't show up or even call back. I was taken to the delivery room and gave birth to a healthy baby, and he didn't arrive after all. Seeing my child for the first time was indescribably wonderful, but everything from holding to feeding was new and scary. I wonder when he is coming to see the baby. I almost forgot about him until my mom said that. Now that I think about it, there's been no contact from him. I sent him another message asking him to come soon so the baby could see his daddy's face. Then finally I got a message. I'll be at the hospital the day after tomorrow. I was really excited waiting for him. I can't wait to show him our adorable child. He's going to be thrilled. 3 days after childbirth, I was soothing the baby in my hospital room, and then he finally showed up. There was a woman I didn't recognize standing closely behind him. She rudely approached the baby and said mockingly, "Wow, this isn't what I expected. Are newborns really this small? This is hilarious. Hey, we need to talk about this first." He didn't even look at the baby, and he was gently reprimanding the woman. What's going on? Who is she? I was completely confused. John, who is she? Oh, let me introduce you. This is Ava, my new girlfriend. A new girlfriend? My mind went blank. I didn't say anything until you safely gave birth, just to be considerate. But you seem fine, so I guess it's all good. Wait, hold on. I don't get it. The Ava I was introduced to is draping her arm around him, talking in a cloying voice. Oh, John, you gotta spill the beans to her. She's lost in the sauce. Seriously, she's been cooped up in the house the whole pregnancy. I guess it's not just her body getting sloppy, but her brain too. John is just going with the flow, not shaking off Ava's arm, and they're both having a good laugh. What? What in the world is going on? He coldly let it out while I was taken aback. I'm telling you that I've decided to be with Ava, so I need you to sign the divorce papers. Divorce? Don't say it like it's no big deal. What about our baby? Before I knew it, I was going bananas. This can't be real. I can't accept this. You were planning to stay at your parents' home after getting discharged anyway, right? Might as well stay there for good. I'm still young, and I don't want to be tied down by a kid at this age. What? What are you talking about? You said you'd man up. Your old man was breathing down my neck. I had to say something to calm the waters, you know? That's why I blurted out, I'll marry her. It was just a stroke of luck that your dad bought it. What about the condo your mom set up for us? Wasn't that for the three of us to live as a family? Oh, that. It was more gorgeous than I thought, so I figured why not use it how I want. I've always wanted a room for my hobbies. So you weren't going to the condo frequently to get it ready for us? No way! With a kid around, it'd get messy in a jiffy. That's why Ava and I decided to live there together. She seems she likes that place too. Picking out furniture for our place was such a blast. We gotta say thank you to your mom. This is messed up. I didn't know anything about this. Why all of a sudden? What's wrong with me? I was still pressing, and then he said, with looking down his nose at me, "Seeing you with that big belly, I just don't feel the spark anymore." That's cold. It's normal for my belly to get big when I'm pregnant. And besides, it's your baby. Then Ava chimed in. Hey, don't you think this baby doesn't look much like you, John? You sure it's yours? Yeah, maybe. I'm not the real dad, huh? Oh no, poor John. That was the last straw. The words he had for his wife, who just gave birth, were heartless. I can't believe I ever dreamed of the future with him. Before I knew it, I was raising my voice at them. I never want to see your faces again. Get out! Whoa, scary. Postpartum depression, maybe. They left the room with laughing. He never even tried to see the baby, let alone hold him. I was in a daze and blankly watched them through the window as they headed to the parking lot. John and Ava were stopped by someone in the parking lot. Looking closely, I realized it was his mom. They were deep in conversation with her. I see. So mother-in-law is in the know already. I was the only one out of the loop. Huh. I closed the curtains and lay down on the bed. My only ally now is this little baby. Gazing at my beloved child, and then tears well up in my eyes. Suddenly the room's door swung open. Standing there were my mother-in-law and John. What? Mother-in-law? And you too, John? I thought you were already gone. He was standing next to my mother-in-law and looking kind of sulky. Where is Ava? I asked, and my mother-in-law answered for him. That rude girl. I drove that girl away already. Mother-in-law met them in the parking lot and found out what was going on. Just had a baby, and he was leaving me to live with Ava in a condo. Mother-in-law gave them an earful, apparently. What the hell is she thinking? Moving into a condo that was bought for Jennifer and the baby. How dare she? Mom? And even she had the nerve to say to me, I can have cuter babies than the one that might not even be John's. Can you believe it? After driving Ava away, mother-in-law had scolded him too. I thought you were setting up a new home for Jennifer, but you were actually ditching her right after she gave birth. I can't believe what an idiot my own son is. Jennifer, I'm so sorry for the terrible things he said. No, it's okay. Thankfully, my mother-in-law seems like a reasonable and kind person. But there's no way I could continue a married life with a man who would just abandon his pregnant wife with no hesitation. It's not your fault, mother-in-law, but now I know his true colors. Having mother-in-law on my side, I was completely calm. John, as you wish, I'll grant you a divorce. At these words, he visibly relaxed. This didn't sit well with mother-in-law. What about the baby? She demanded sternly. I will raise the child by myself. By yourself? Of course, there is anxiety in becoming a single mother, but it's probably better than having a father like him. My parents are also looking forward to life with the baby. They were even disappointed when I told them I'm eventually moving to the condo. I'm sure if I have a serious talk, they'll understand. After hearing my story, mother-in-law muttered regretfully, Well then, I was looking forward to being a family with you and my grandchild. But if it's for your happiness, maybe this is for the best. I'm sorry, mother-in-law. In that case, could you at least take the condo as an apology? Of course, I'll make sure he pays child support and alimony too. He panicked by hearing this. Mom, wait! The condo was supposed to be for me. The furniture's already been all set up. Hearing this, mother-in-law shouted at him, You idiot! I bought that condo because you said you'd live there with her and the baby. It's not for you, it's for her and the child. I am grateful for mother-in-law's sentiments, but there's no way I'd live in a place where he and Ava had been, even for a moment. Thank you, mother-in-law, but I'll just accept your kind thoughts. I have no intention of living in that condo. For now, I plan to stay at my parents' home. John visibly relaxed at my words. See, she wants to be at her parents' home, so we'll keep the place like we planned. That makes sense. Ignoring him, my mother-in-law spoke to me. If your folks back home can help out, that's the best thing. Well then, I'll put that condo up for sale. What? Mom, hold on a sec. I said I'm gonna live there. Are you serious? Of course. So you'll be paying the loan then? What? The loan? That's a no-brainer. If you're living there, you pay up. Didn't you buy it outright? How the hell do you keep your brain organized? He was insistent on living in the condo for free, but my mother-in-law didn't budge an inch. The place she got for us was a really nice place, and there's no way for John, fresh out of college, could afford a condo. Then John, without learning his lesson, started to cling to me. Jennifer, I was wrong. It's not right for a family to be apart. Let's raise our child together in that condo. John exaggeratedly tries to pick up our child. I quickly snatch my baby away. Stop it! Don't touch my child! What do you mean, my child? The child is mine too, right? You just said a minute ago, I don't know if this child is mine or not. Well, that's... I'm only divorcing because you said you wanted to. I have no intention of staying with you. It's better for my child not to have a deadbeat dad like you. Please, Jennifer, wait. Ignoring a pale-faced John, my mother-in-law is nodding in approval. Come on, Mom. Say something for me, too. Don't pull this stunt now. You just want to get back together so you don't have to give up the condo, right? She and I can see right through you. Mom? Enough. You show no love to your own child, and yet use as a pawn now? You moved in without asking so you and Ava can take care of moving the furniture and cleaning the place. Scolded by my mother-in-law, it seems like he finally gave up on the condo. Moreover, my mother-in-law is making him restore the place to its original state. My name is still on the deed. If you can't do it, I'll sue you for trespassing for all the times you've been in and out. After I left the hospital, the divorce went smoothly, thanks to my mother-in-law. After that, he apparently bit the bullet and cleared out his furniture and seems to have arranged for a house cleaning. Because he and Ava were boozing and making a mess in the apartment almost every night, so the cleaning cost an arm and a leg, even though he had just moved in. In light of this incident, his mother-in-law is pumped up and saying, I'm going to straighten out my son's act. She's making him take on an additional part-time job and is stashing away money for alimony and child support to give to me. Having no money and time at his disposal, he was promptly dumped by Ava. After all, it seems she was just cozying up to him for his cash. On the other hand, I moved back in with my parents after giving birth, and we're all pitching in to raise the child as I had vowed. At first, my parents were against me becoming a single mother, but once I told them about the nasty stuff he did to me, they were all in for the divorce and offered to help with raising the kid together. Holding back my dad, who looked like he was about to march over to John's place and give him a piece of his mind, was a challenge, though. Thanks to the support of the mother-in-law, alimony and child support payments are coming in without a hitch from him. Now that I don't have to worry about money, I can probably afford to postpone going back to work. When the kid grows up, there will come a time when I'll have to talk about his father, but I'm sure the day will come when he will understand my decision. I made a vow to myself that I will pour all the love I can into this child and make my child happy. Not just from me, but enough to cover for his absent father.